Greetings comic book fans and welcome to Dude's Comic Haul. I'm Jason, coming to you from the Dude Cave, and this is my weekly video where I share with you the brand new books I picked up this week. I'm officially the best day of the week, New Comic Book Day. I've got 19 books this week and plus 3 back issues. I thought I might be late getting my books because I was doing training, but luckily the training finished an hour earlier than I was supposed to, so I had 2 hours to get to my comic shop, and it only takes me half an hour. So I was super chuffed with that, so I got my books no problem. So let's look at these back issues first. It is Kanan, the Last Padawan. I got issue number 3, issue number 4, and issue number 5. I was especially chuffed because I thought I'd only get to 2, but I managed to get the 3. I've ordered issue 2 off eBay, so that will give me the first 5 issues to kind of have a look at. I did drop that book. Out of the books, it was the book that out of the Star Wars books, it was the book I was enjoying the least, so I dropped it because there were books I wanted more. But as we get closer to Star Wars: The Force Awakens, it just reawakens my passion for Star Wars. I was like, I was 1 year old when Star Wars come out, so it's all my conscious life. Star Wars has been there, and it's always been something that I've always enjoyed. In childhood, I remember my brothers got me, the Star Wars movies for Christmas, and I would just rewatch those movies. There is not a video or a film I have watched more than Star Wars, especially the original trilogy. I must have watched each one hundreds of times because I had them on all the time as a kid, and I had all the action figures, and it's just something that's always been there. And I'm like really excited that we're going to get new Star Wars, and as we get closer to it, I'm getting more excited. So it's making me like pick up books like this because I've just finished watching Star Wars Rebels, the first season. So kind of I have a bigger handle on who Kanan is now. I don't think when I picked it up, I don't think I'd watched it all. I think I'd watched some of the episodes, but I don't think I watched it all. But so I'm gonna give it a go. We'll see how it goes. Getting into this week's books, first up we have Batman Beyond, issue number 4. Last issue had the really big cliffhanger of that Brother Eye now knows where Gotham is. So what are Batman and everybody gonna do now that Brother Eye is coming to get them all? So that sounds quite exciting, and I've definitely been enjoying this. It's a book I expected to hate, but has really surprised me, and I've really enjoyed it. We then have Batman Detective Comics. Sad that Buccellato and Manapul are leaving the book, but it's still a book that's doing something different, and I like that. I like that we're getting like Harvey Bullock and Renee Montoya and the Gotham Police Department. And Bat Gordon's still in it. He still plays a part in the book, but it concentrates a lot more on his support network. So I'm looking forward to this, because last issue I think it was Harvey confronted his girlfriend that she was like a dirty cop, and so now he's trying to get Bat Gordon to help him bump her off, which doesn't kind of sound quite Bat Gordon or Harvey Bullock-ish, does it? We then have Green Arrow, issue number 44. I'm really enjoying this. Benjamin Percy and Patrick Zilcher are taking this book back in the right direction. They've brought characters back that we had under Lemire that the last creative team took out. They've added George the Wolf, and I've really been enjoying it. It's definitely going in the right direction, and this will be the first book I read this week because Green Arrow is always near the top of my reading pile. We then have Green Lantern, issue number 44. Really enjoying what they're doing with him right now. The art has been really great, and I just really like it that he's back out there. And having no support network of the Green Lantern Corps has made a really interesting kind of thing. And putting him out there in space trying to do the right thing again, I like that. I like what they're doing right now with him, and it's definitely, I'm enjoying the book again, where I don't think, while there was some interesting stuff, I don't think I enjoyed the stuff with him being the leader of the Green Lanterns as much as I'm enjoying this now. We then have Midnighter, issue number 4. We have Grayson this time, so that's going to be good seeing him team up with Grayson. I enjoyed the first issue, second issue not so much. Third issue, I thought we were back in the right direction, so I'm hoping we're going to keep that upward momentum, and because I do like Midnighter as a character. I think I find him interesting, some of his choices and stuff, and I feel like some of the flashbacks of him and Apollo, I kind of really added a bit to the character and to like why why certain things are so important to him. So yeah, I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying it. We then have Jupiter Circle issue number 6, which I originally thought this was going to be 5 issues, so I'm chuffed that it's carrying on. Each issue is kind of, we've had 2 issue stories for each kind of team member, so I think probably by the end of it we'll have covered the whole team. Each member will have kind of had their own story. I think it was this character on the cover, something Fox, wasn't he? Sky Fox, was it? But he was like the guy in the team. He was a bit of a Tony Stark, a bit of a partier, pretty much a practical joker. And it turns out that the one other member of the team that he's always playing pranks on is having an affair with the woman he's fallen in love with, and was going to marry. Or did they get married? I can't remember. But yeah, so that was all kind of stuff. So we're going to have all the fallout to this issue. So that should be interesting. How that's going to affect things. But I've really been enjoying Jupiter Circle. It's been a really good book. We then have Lazarus, which is a super thick book this issue, because not only do we have the main Lazarus story, but we have a preview of the next Greg Rucka book, Black Magic, in the back, which we get quite a few pages, illustrated by Nicholas Scott, so that's definitely something to check out. I can't recall reading that much Greg Rucka before I read The Punisher. I really enjoyed his Punisher run, and so when he brought Lazarus out, I kind of thought I'll try it out, and I've really enjoyed Lazarus. It's been a great book. Right now we have our main character got shot last issue, Forever Carlisle, so it's going to be interesting what's going to happen next to her. Kind of being a Lazarus, does she have better healing abilities than a regular person, or is this going to be in really deep trouble? And so it's interesting, like, where is this going to take the story? So I'm really excited to see what happens next. So yeah, and like Greg Rucka, just great stuff. So I'm looking forward to reading the preview we get in here, just to see maybe it is the writer I'm into, because like the few things I've read of his so far I've enjoyed, so I'm definitely looking forward to reading that preview in the back there as well. We then have Plutonia issue number 1. This is the first issue. I can't recall if I put this on my order or if it's my comic shop. I've put it in there because they know I read quite a bit of Jeff Lemire. He's a funny kind of writer, Jeff Lemire. Like, sometimes there'll be stuff of his, like Justice League United or Hawkeye, that I just didn't enjoy and wasn't for me. Well, I can't say I didn't enjoy Hawkeye, but it just wasn't for me. And then you've got stuff like Green Arrow that I absolutely loved from the first issue. And then you've got stuff like Descender and Bloodshot Reborn, which are kind of more of a slow burn that like take time to kind of come to life. But once they've come to life, you're hooked. So he's a kind of a funny writer in that. In kind of, you never know what you're going to get with Lemire. I don't usually go for books with children in. I just have flashbacks to Power Pack, and it brings back the nightmares and kind of undoes all the therapy that I've had since reading, to get over reading Power Pack. So, I try to stay away from books with kids in, but like, it was on my order. It was only a $2.99 book, and there was a couple of books I should have got this week that they didn't have in, so I thought, you know what, I may as well just leave it in there and get it. See which Jeff Lemire we get. And it's an interesting kind of premise. Like a group of kids find a dead superhero. Kind of, there's different ways that could go. That could be quite dark, So we'll see what it's like. Then we Stand on Guard, issue number 3. I really love the first issue. Second issue, I kind of think they simplified it a bit much with, like, the Americans were bad psychopaths and evil psychopaths, and the Canadians were heroic, which I can understand why they think that, but like, I always find, personally, I think war is more complicated than that, and I think there's atrocities often on both sides in war, and so like, yeah, maybe the people right at the top, you can kind of pick a side that's good and bad, but like lower down when it comes to the soldiers, I think that there's a lot of decent people, who may have good intentions, and there'll be people that are just there to hurt and to kill. So I think War's more complex, and we see kind of Brian K. Vaughan capture that in Saga with how he illustrates both sides of that war. So I'm expecting more from him in this, and I'm hoping this is going to show that more as we go on. And I still don't quite know what this story is going to be about. I feel the first two issues have kind of been setting stuff up, but I'm not completely sure of the narrative of where we're going, what we're going to follow, apart from that you were following our main character. So, but looking forward to getting into that, because as well, I've really been enjoying the art on that. We then have Daredevil, issue number 18. Things are looking pretty bad for Matt Murdock these days, so can things get worse for him, or are things actually going to get better? I don't know how Mark Waid does it, but like even when bad things are happening to Daredevil, this is still a really enjoyable book. And Sam Lee's art is just fun. They just make a great team, and I'm going to miss them being together on that book. But I am interested in where Charles Soule's going to take it. But at the moment, I'm interested how Waid and Sam Lee are going to end their story. Hopefully, Matt will have something of a happy ending, because that doesn't seem to happen that much. We then have Groot, issue number 4. Really been enjoying this. It's been a really fun book as Groot's trying to make his way back to Rocket. And yeah, I haven't got a clue what's happening in this issue. I'm looking forward to finding out. We then have Age of Apocalypse, issue number 3. After the first two issues kind of setting up this world, I'm hoping that this issue, the story's going to get into gear, because I feel with some of these Secret Wars tie-ins, part of the problem is they've got so much to kind of explain about this world that sometimes that slows down the story that's happening. So I'm hoping that they're going to be able to fix that, and this issue we're going to get our main story going. We then have House of M, issue number 2. No disrespect and or offense meant, but Namor and Quicksilver are looking very gay on that cover, and I say that again, like I say, not to be offensive, and there's nothing wrong with them looking gay, but it's like, you know, in my youth I had a few gay friends, and on their birthdays we would go to gay clubs with them to celebrate their birthdays. And I'm telling you now, I've been to gay clubs and men have been dressed like that, and they've been chasing each other. So, you know, that's what I mean when I say they're looking very gay there. Maybe that's going to be the big twist of the series, you know, that, you know, Quicksilver and Namor will be having an affair. Ooh, that would spice things up. But yeah, I enjoyed the first issue. It had a lot to set up, and I'm looking forward to this issue kind of paying off on some of the setup we saw last issue. But yeah, I definitely enjoyed this, so I'm looking forward to that one. We then have Force, issue number 3. Issue 1 was just total awesomeness. Issue 2 didn't quite live up to that awesomeness, as it kind of set a formula and kind of then went away from that formula. So I'm hoping we're going to get back to kind of the cop show kind of narrative that we had in the first issue, but with fours instead of policemen. I think that would be really cool, as we're trying to get answers into what's going on. Why, like, you know, we kind of know the connection between the Jane Foster and the Donald Blake, but how do they? And is that going to be kind of the thread that starts to pull things apart and makes the Forge remember that there was something before Doom? So I'm looking forward to seeing where that's going to go. We then have Silver Surfer, Last Days, issue number 14. Sad to see Silver Surfer go. I'm hopeful that he will come back, because they haven't announced all the books yet. Really enjoyed what Dan Slott and Mike Oldwood have done with the character, and they've done a great job. And I think Dan Slott's much better suited to this book than Spider-Man, because I kind of think Spider-Man's been a bit messed up. I know characters have to move on, but I think they took him too far away from the things that made Spider-Man work. With Silver Surfer, I feel that Dan Slott, but maybe as well is I've got more history reading Spider-Man than Silver Surfer, so I kind of come to this as a fresh reader, so I probably don't have as many expectations of what Silver Surfer should be. So I think probably it's easier in that way when you come to something, when you have something of expectations, or this is what I like about the character, and somebody writes it, you're kind of more opinionated on it. So, but I've really enjoyed this though, and I'm definitely, while on the one hand I'm looking forward to seeing how it's going to finish up, On the other hand, I'm hopeful that it will be back. I'm hopeful. We then have Doctor Who, issue number 4 of 5 of the 4 Doctors. I enjoyed the last issue. It got it back on track. I'm intrigued to see the reveal last issue. I'm looking forward to seeing that get explained and to us getting some answers. And hopefully this issue might even have the War Doctor in it, because we've been missing for the last 2 issues. We then have Doctor Who issue number 15. I really enjoyed this. The 10th Doctor. This is the final issue. They're going to relaunch it as like year 2, so it'll be from issue 1 again. But this will conclude the story. It's got Sutekh in it. I really loved that reveal last time, and I'm intrigued to see how it's all going to end up. We then have Imperium, one of the books I'm most looking forward to this week, issue number 8. It's the rematch, Arada versus Divinity. Oh my god, last issue was really great, and I loved how they structured it. It was really clever what they did. And Arada kind of, by the end of the issue, he had an idea of how to defeat Divinity. So I'm really looking forward to seeing in this issue put that plan into motion. Really good book. This book is just, it started off good, but it just gets better and better, and it's definitely one of my favourites right now. Valiant are bringing out some really top-notch books. And speaking about Valiant bringing out some top-notch books, our final book this week, X-O Manowar issue 40, continues the Exodus story. Just by adding this group of characters, the Vine has really shook everything up. And I loved last issue. It was so tense, it was action-packed. I loved it from start to finish. And I'm really excited to see what's going to happen next. Can X-O Manowar, can Arik avoid a war between the Vine and the Earth? Or is it that just naturally going to happen? I'm really excited to see what's going to happen. So those are all my books for this week. The battle plan at the moment is that I will be back either Sunday or Monday with a review video reviewing these books. If you're in the future and you're watching this video back, that review video should already be up. If you are watching this in the future, hello from the past. So yeah, there's nothing really else I want to add. If you enjoyed the video, please give me those beautiful thumbs up. Thank you very much for watching. I will be back. I'm going to go now and read some comics while this video uploads. Get a nice cool beverage, relax in the dude cave, reading some comics. I will see you all again soon. Hope you all have a great week and you enjoy your comics. I've been Jason. This has been Dude's Comic Haul. Bye for now.